Hey buddies, what's up? Welcome back to another amazing episode on Minechunk. So guys, in today's video we're going to discuss Minecraft, how to easily defeat the Ender Dragon. Are you guys excited? So let's get started. So keep up with me till the end, comment right below this video, subscribe if you still haven't, and turn on the post notifications for more videos. When Minecraft was in its early phases, players were wondering if there would be an end game added. So the developers behind the game decided to literally create the end. A dimension where players who are bored could take on a large creature known as the Ender Dragon to cap everything off. This airborne creature will fly around end crystals that the player must destroy to stop the dragon from regaining health. Once complete, players will be able to start chipping away at the Ender Dragon's health. There are multiple ways to take on the Ender Dragon in Minecraft, but there are a few things that really make defeating her a lot easier. Number 11. Bring arrows and snowballs. The most important thing to note about the Ender Dragon fight is that the dragon is almost always high up in the air. This means players will need to bring whatever projectiles they can to make sure they can hit it at a faster rate. The best item to bring is a bow and lots of arrows. Especially with the bow enchanted, players can get some nice damage in on the dragon. Surprisingly, snowballs are also a very effective way to deal damage to the Ender Dragon. This is surprising given how snowballs tend to not hurt many other mobs in Minecraft. Number 10. Aim for the head. When fighting most monsters in Minecraft, players know they can hit the mob anywhere and they will deal about the same amount of damage. The Ender Dragon is actually a bit different, although the game doesn't do a good job telling the player. Based on numerous case studies, players have actually noted that the Ender Dragon takes a ton more damage when struck in the head. This is very important if players are looking to deal as much damage as possible and get out of the fight alive. Number 9. Get a water bucket. If there's one item that is very versatile in Minecraft, it is the water bucket. There are many ways that players find a use for them, from navigation to simply filling a small pool. Its usefulness is just as apparent during the end fight. In terms of moving around, a water bucket is just one of the many items that can be used to climb up to the towers and reach the end crystals. However, water buckets are probably the most useful when dealing with the Enderman. If the player stands in the middle of the water while Endermen charge them, they will teleport away. Number 8. Wear a carved pumpkin. Before pumpkins were used to make armies of golems and craft pumpkin pie, pumpkins were simply used as headwear. If players acquire a carved pumpkin, they will be able to run around with a pumpkin on their head. This may just seem like a silly Easter egg, but it is actually another method to avoid Endermen attacking. This is super helpful during the Ender Dragon fight because it'll keep these tall, terrifying creatures from attacking while focusing on the dragon. The downside is that the pumpkin partially blinds the player, so it should be used with this risk in mind. Number 7. Have a solid sword or axe handy. Some may feel that with the Ender Dragon always flying around during the fight, it's unnecessary to bring a really good sword or axe. This is not at all the case. During the fight, the Ender Dragon will occasionally fly to the center of the fighting arena to float just a little above the eventual end portal. This is the time to strike as melee weapons are in the range of the dragon. Repeatedly hitting the dragon here will likely be the best chance the player gets to drain the boss's health bar as much as they can. Enchanting a diamond sword or something stronger can go a long way to cutting the battle time down. Number 6. Avoid the dragon's breath. The early days of the end had the Ender Dragon just flying around and occasionally soaring toward the player. In other words, she didn't really have other attacks to use against the player. This changed in recent years when the Ender Dragon gained the ability to shoot its breath at players. Getting hit with the breath or standing in a splash zone will cause the player to take damage as if they were poisoned. Because of this, it's better for players to dodge these attacks, although players could pick up the breath with a glass bottle. These can be used to create lingering potions. Number 5. Use ladders or scaffolding. There are many ways players can scale the towers if needed. As stated earlier, players could use a bucket of water to get up there as well as just using random blocks to stack up. However, if players want a super effective way to get up as quickly as possible, they should look at 2 options. Ladders are a good way to climb up as they can be quickly placed as players move up them. Then there's scaffolding, which can be completely stacked up to the top of the tower without leaving the ground. There are quite a few methods to try. Number 4. Destroying the end crystals. When you first enter the end island, the dragon will regenerate any damage it takes due to being surrounded by towers with end crystals on top of them. The main goal at first is to get to these crystals and shoot them or hit them with any tool that does damage. Beware of the explosion damage and stagger that they cause when destroyed. The towers are all different in height. Some are low enough for you to snipe the crystals from afar with a bow and arrow. Some, however, are incredibly tall, and the crystals might be encased with iron bars, which need to be destroyed first. In this case, you need to climb up to the tower. You can use blocks to get up to a tower, or, if that's too slow, placing down ladders while climbing has been proven to be a good technique. In an emergency situation, you can even use a water bucket to climb up the tower by quickly placing and removing a water block and swimming up. If you're feeling adventurous, you could use ender pearls to teleport yourself to some of the higher towers with caged crystals. This might require some practice with ender pearl throws first, however, and presents the risk of you missing your throw and ending up in the void. Number 3. Make some beds. There are some unconventional ways to take on the ender dragon. One of the more ridiculous ways to cut the ender dragon down is by damaging it with some beds. Yes, that's correct. If players have a few inventory spots for some beds, they should look to place a few near the end portal in the center of the arena. When the dragon flies in and hovers just above it, attempt to sleep in the bed. This will cause them to explode in a fiery mess and deal lots of damage to the dragon. This works because beds don't work in the nether or the end. Number 2. Consume potions or golden apples. Much has been said about the tools needed to take the dragon on, but it's important for players to take care of themselves while in battle. That is why players should come with as much fuel as they can possibly think of to consume while fighting. This should include some cooked food just to keep the hunger bar up, but consider eating golden apples to keep health high. There are also potions that can be made that enhance the player's skill in the fight, such as speed or strength. Players should be strong when looking to conquer the end. Number 1. Spare some ender pearls. To get into the end, players would have needed to collect a decent amount of ender pearls to make eyes of ender. However, players should also look to have a few of these on hand when fighting the dragon itself. Ender pearls are perfect for teleporting around, which will be good for dodging attacks. They are yet another tool that could be used to climb up the tall pillars in the end. Plus, players are successful in taking down the beast. There will be a portal in the sky nearby that players can ender pearl into. This gives players access to the broader end biome. So guys, this was all about today's video. Share as much as you can. That really motivates us to create more content for you guys. With this, we end our video. Hope you liked the video. Do hit the like button down there, comment down your views, and do share with more of your friends. See ya. Take care.